All right, today we are diving into one of the most foundational stories ever told, the 7 days of creation, right from the book of Genesis. We're going to go through this day by day and really unpack its amazing structure and what it all means. Let's get into it.
And that question really gets to the heart of this story. It frames creation not as some kind of random cosmic accident, but as something deliberate, methodical, and packed with purpose. It's really a story about bringing order from chaos, like a blueprint for the universe being laid out, one step at a time.
So the story basically unfolds in 2 main parts. The first part, which we're looking at now, covers those first 3 days. And these days are all about separation, about setting up the basic architecture of the world. Think of it like building the house before you start putting furniture in it.
So how was this architecture built? Well, day 1, you have the first big separation, light from darkness. That establishes the whole rhythm of day and night. Then, on day 2, the sky is created to separate the waters above from the waters below. And finally, on day 3, the waters get pushed back and boom, dry land appears. It's this incredible process of just pure foundational ordering.
But here's what's really cool. Right after the land is formed, the very next thing that happens is it becomes productive. The creation of all this vegetation, well, it isn't just another item on the list. The source describes it as the first act of providing for all the life that's about to show up. The stage is set, and the pantry is officially being stocked.
Okay, so we've got our basic structure, right? We have light and dark, sky and sea, and land. With those realms established, the next 3 days are all about filling them up. These empty spaces are about to get really busy with life and light, and it all happens in a very specific order.
Which brings us to day 4, and this is where a really beautiful pattern starts to show up. Remember back on day 1 when the realm of light and darkness was created? Well, now on day 4, that very same realm is about to be filled with its rulers.
Now, this is absolutely key. According to the text, the sun, moon, and stars aren't just pretty decorations in the sky. Nope, they have a job to do, to govern, to rule the day and the night, and to act as signs for seasons, days, and years. This is about bringing in a whole new level of order, the order of time itself.
All right, on to day 5, and you'll see this lines up perfectly with what happened on day 2. Back then, the sky and the seas were separated and formed. Now, it's time to fill them up with life. And we're not just talking a few fish and birds here. The text makes a point of mentioning great sea creatures and every living thing that moves, plus every winged bird. It's all about abundance. The sky and seas are just teeming with life, a total explosion of divine creativity.
And that brings us to day 6, the very last day of active creation. Now, if you've been following the pattern, you know exactly what this day corresponds to. Day 3 gave us dry land and plants, so now it's time to fill that realm with its inhabitants. And just as you'd expect, the land is now populated with every kind of animal imaginable. The earth is filled. But day 6, it is not done yet, not by a long shot. In fact, the most significant act of the entire week is about to happen.
And this is it. This is the big climax of the whole story. After the earth is filled with animals, everything pauses for the final and most profound creative act of day 6, humanity. This is the absolute pinnacle, and it's followed by something brand new on day 7, the Sabbath, a day of rest.
So what makes the creation of humanity so different? Well, the text uses this very specific phrase, in his own image. This points to a really special relationship with the Creator, and it comes with a unique job. Humanity is tasked with having dominion, which is described as being responsible caretakers for the whole created world.
So you have 6 straight days of work, of creating, making, filling, ordering, and then bam, a total shift in purpose. The 7th day isn't about doing anything at all. It's about being. God rests from the work, and by doing so blesses this day and sets it apart as holy. It establishes rest not just as taking a break, but as a sacred and vital part of the whole divine pattern. And this is the final verdict. At the end of that 6th day, after humanity is created, the Creator looks over absolutely everything, the light, the sky, the land, the sun and moon, all the animals and the people, and declares it very good. It's the ultimate stamp of approval, signaling that the work is complete and it is perfect.
So the big takeaway here is this incredible, intentional structure of separation, then filling, and finally, rest.
This ancient story lays out a 7-day rhythm that has shaped cultures for thousands of years, which really leaves us with one last thing to think about. How does that ancient pattern of 6 days of work and 1 day of rest still echo in how we structure our weeks and our lives right here today?